Thank you, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. Hello there, my cozy babes, and welcome to this pick a card reading. Thank you so much to Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video. More on that in a moment. But today's reading, y'all, I just really want to read with these different decks. I'll tell you which ones are which so you can go to the corresponding timestamp. But I just want to see what your guides are wanting to talk to you about, what's going on, what's the sitch, as Kim Possible would say. And that being said, pile number one, this is going to be your deck with the Rainbow Heart Tarot. Pile number two, you are going to have the Final Rose Tarot. Pile number three, you are going to have the Exotic Cancer Tarot. And pile number four, you are going to have Zeke's Arcana Tarot. So whichever of those is calling to you, I would encourage you to select. If there's more than one, don't hesitate to listen to more than one pile. The choice is completely yours. I'm going to go ahead and turn up some meditation music for you and give you a moment to make a choice, and then we will start from pile number one. So Tarot Stack is an online store that distributes indie tarot decks from basically independent artists. And these decks, when I tell you, and every deck that you see today in my reading is from there, they will all be linked down below, of course. But when I tell you that these decks are so good, like the cardstock is incredible. You'll notice in my cards that I use a lot of these on a daily basis, and none of them are falling apart because they are really high quality, well made. And I also feel like Tarot Stack is just honestly such an ethical company. Like, they really work to get tarot decks from independent creators versus something that is like mass marketed and sold. So it helps independent artists get their name out there a little bit more. And they have such a diverse collection of decks on their site. There's a lot of them are focused on inclusivity and having like gender neutrality in their tarot decks, which I personally really appreciate. They also have recently, I feel like, really upped their like feminine indie decks, ones that have more like feminine style to them. Like a lot of the, you've seen them even in other readings that I've done, but like ones that just have more of a feminine influence to them. And I really enjoy that as well. So there's a myriad of decks though. There's lots of diversity on their site. I own so many decks from Tarot Stack, and I have not once ever been disappointed, whether it's the art style from the artist or the way that it was packaged and shipped to me, how quickly it came, like genuinely zero complaints. And it always just makes me feel good knowing that I'm supporting an independent artist and helping to get their work out there. So links down below for Tarot Stack. And of course, I will also link every single deck that I use in the order they appear down below. So if you want to get some for yourself, be sure to use my links. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video. All right, pile number one, if you chose the Rainbow Heart Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So we're just going to go ahead and give these a nice shuffle. I love this deck. I love the way it feels in my hands. And like, look at how cute, like the rainbow. I don't know how well my camera is picking it up, but also to those of y'all that are long-term listeners, we are getting such a massive camera upgrade this week. So expect the quality of videos to skyrocket after this week. Very excited. All right. So we have the moon. So with the moon card, I can see that you've been possibly having a really like deep emotional time. Something in your life might have fluctuated or changed. I can see that with the different moon phases here. And it's kind of left you in your feelings a little bit. Like maybe there is a little bit of separation from a partner or a friend or family member. And you're in your feelings about that. Yes, you're very in your feelings about that. We have the Three of Swords, which is like heartbreak. Like you're feeling the feelings of heartbreak, even if you weren't specifically broken up with, though some of you maybe were. It's like it feels like your heart is sad. Like there's something that you don't understand. And something that your guides want you to know right now, pile number one, is that sometimes people are pulled from your life, and I'm not talking about like death, but just like, I feel like in today's society, even when we talk about like ghosting, people get really up in arms about that because they want closure and they want to know why or what they did wrong. And the thing is, number one, you're never owed that. Nobody owes you anything. And number two, you have no idea what the other side of that coin looks like. That other person could deal with really intense anxiety. They could be going through something that they need solitude for. Like, I think a great example of this in my own life is over a year ago, there was a friend that I was really close to, wanted to build a better relationship with, and I would reach out and kind of wait for a response, and they just weren't really responding to me or receptive. And in like the past, I would take that so personally. I'm like, oh, they ghosted me. Like, what did I do? But I just kept reminding myself that like, no, sometimes people are on their own journey. It doesn't mean they ghosted you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Sometimes people just need solitude in their path and they don't have the time or space for more. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you did something wrong, that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that there's something inherently flawed with you. And it's highly likely that it doesn't even have anything to do with you, to be honest. It never really does. What people do is a reflection of themselves. So I don't know why I'm getting this vibe that like, I feel like for most of you, this isn't an actual breakup, but you're feeling sad because there is distance and like you're going through a phase with someone that feels weird. We have the Hierophant here, and this could actually be a mentor or somebody that you've always kind of looked up to. I say that because I feel like the Hierophant is really representing them. Like maybe this could also be like you're feeling distance from a spirit guide, and your guide is actually showing up in this reading because you look up to them like for guidance. And we have the Devil here. So the Devil is usually like temptation, addiction. Oh, this is really interesting, pile number one. So I'm really getting, this might sound weird, but that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to correct the channel, like the channel that I receive from Spirit. I have to remind myself that sometimes. It's almost like you're addicted to the feeling of like whatever this connection is that has been kind of lost at this time. You're addicted to the feeling, or maybe you have used this relationship in a really unhealthy way for yourself. And this doesn't mean that, like, again, I really want to reiterate for you, there's nothing inherently wrong with you. You're not a terrible person. But I really am getting the feeling that like there maybe is some unhealthy attachment between you and the person that you're feeling separation from. That's what this is, because the Devil card also talks about unhealthy attachments or being bound to somebody else in an unhealthy manner. So maybe like you always look up to them, but it's time for you to find your own power by yourself. Okay. And then we have the Empress C. Okay, so the Empress, this is also all about finding like your own femininity. And that doesn't mean that you have to identify as female, but ultimately everybody has feminine expression, every single last one of us. You know, we don't even have to call it feminine or masculine. It could be yin and yang, it could be fire and water. They're just labels. They don't have to mean sexuality or anything like that. But the Empress coming out tells me that right now you're on a journey of self-discovery to find your own inner divine feminine. And this relationship that has been cut away from you right now, it's actually serving a purpose to give you space to express yourself in a way that you wouldn't feel comfortable around this person expressing yourself. So if this is a significant other, you're meant to grow in a different direction right now. If this is a friend, maybe there are certain things that you would just feel uncomfortable in the presence of others in general doing, and you need to let this side of yourself out. So this has actually been divinely orchestrated for you. Everything has been timed for the both of you to get what you need. Like, I'm not really getting the notion that the other person is off suffering either. Like, they are actually already working on themselves. But Spirit is saying that you need to be doing the same, filling up yourself, expressing yourself in new ways, and not hanging on for like this to circle back around. If it's meant to be, it will come back. And then we have the Nine of Cups and the Sun. See, this is such a good thing. This separation is only going to benefit you, pile number one, like genuinely. This separation is only going to benefit you because the Nine of Cups, this is the card of pure manifestation. So this is like your intention coming to life, right? This is something that you've been wanting to manifest is actually going to manifest. And you're receiving like abundant blessings. But the thing is, to me, it's almost like, okay, especially if this is like a mentor or a guru, or like I said, it could be a friend or a lover. But if this is somebody that you've always looked up to, you maybe have tried to model your life off of their life. This is like what I mean by the unhealthy attachment. And the thing is, your life is yours. You are not meant to make your life a carbon print or a cookie cutter of someone else's. You can take elements of somebody else's life that you would like to put into your life, but there's something about searching your own heart, your own inner self, that needs to be expressed. I'm also hearing that sunflowers might be like a big, like you might really like sunflowers, be surrounded by them, or sunflowers are like a really important symbol for you. So maybe you like, there's just something about sunflowers. Maybe you have one near you right now, or like you're wearing one, something, sunflowers, that's like a symbol to know that this is your pile. But ultimately, you need this time apart to also discover what you want to cultivate in your life. Sometimes the best planted seeds, y'all, come from solitude, come from being like, you know, when you plant a seed under the earth, under the dirt, it takes time to like be in that void space of darkness before it comes to life and reaches towards the sun. And so don't think of this like a deep, dark void where you're being cut out or left alone. This is actually a very potent time for you. So take notice of this time and know that the end result will be a benefit for you. We also have for you the Queen of Pentacles. So your abundance really is going to be increasing, I'm hearing, especially with the Sun card, Nine of Cups. Actually, all four of these cards, maybe not the Nine of Cups unless you've been manifesting money, but these three for sure, Queen of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Empress, they all talk about abundance to a degree. The Empress is about being like fertile with abundance. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody that runs their own. Ooh, I just heard for somebody, if you've been thinking about opening a crystal shop, you need to open the crystal shop. Like, just take that as confirmation. Like, if you have never thought about that, this is not your sign. But like, if you've been thinking about it, Spirit is saying yes. Queen of Pentacles, though, is like running an online shop, or like a shop in general. It doesn't have to be online. like, or some kind of business, anything that is like a business for you, running your own at-home business, or like you could have a store somewhere, just like something that's yours, independently owned. Okay. And also taking care of a home and a family. So that's the energy of Queen of Pentacles, but it's also about like making enough abundance to meet your needs and then some. And the Sun, this is like victory, having your ideas come to life and actually seeing things through all the way. So I love that. We also have Justice, which tells me that things are going to be harmonized again eventually. It might not be at the speed that you would like, but in your relationships where things maybe have felt a little off, or this disconnection that's felt really off, it's going to reharmonize eventually, because justice, literally, we have the balancing scale, right? Right now, things feel really off kilter, but you have to know that it's going to come back to equilibrium. Do I have my dice? I really want to get some timing for you. Where is my Astro dice? Oh, here we go. I do have them close by. Okay. I want to get some timing for you when things are going to reharmonize. So we're going to use these. Okay. I always go off of new and full moons. So even numbers are new moons, odd numbers are full moons. And then we'll see what sign it's going to be under. So even number will be a new moon. Okay, you got, oh my gosh, I rolled the wrong dice. Okay, we'll leave the sign. We got Cancer though, and 5. So this is going to be the full moon in Cancer, which will take place in Capricorn season. So things might not reach equilibrium or being like 100% until January. I know that that's a long ways away. Let's see in the meantime if anything is going to shift. Like, will there be, I'm sensing that you want to know if there will be contact or connection between now and then. I do think so. There will be like some connection, but it's not going to be as much as you want. Like, I do feel like you or them is being a little bit more stingy with their time, because it's what you or them need. Maybe both of you need for yourselves. So I do get the sense that like the time that you connect between now and January, it's not going to be like a bunch of time. It's going to be like pretty short, sweet, simple. But ultimately, like, there is like, look at this. There's like little keyholes and shields. It's like, I feel like they're guarding themselves, to be honest. And again, I need you to know that I'm really getting the energy that it doesn't have anything to do with you. Truly. They are just like going through their own evolution right now. And you are actually being spared this. Like, this is a good thing. You can't come on this journey with them, your guides are saying to me. It's not for you. And I know that that might be a hard place to sit and witness, but ultimately, like, I do see that there will be some connection, but they're guarding themselves. And 8 of Pentacles, I feel like this really represents you. Like, you have so much energy, maybe not right in this moment, but like, I feel like your energy is in a very different place. Like, do you see this? You have like this creative, high potential, high personality. Like, honestly, with all these different masks, it reminds me of like not having multiple personalities, but having like multiple things to want to discuss and talk about and be animated about, and like talk about each one of these characters and each cool thing. And like, this person is just like giving reserved, calm, pulled back energy. And so I do feel like that's kind of how it's going to feel for a little bit. But ultimately, again, it really is for your betterment. We have more. Oh, this card is really special. Okay. I don't know if you can see that in this card right here. You can. Me and one of my really good friends bought these decks together. She has a different deck, but we bought them together, and we both autographed the card that we like the most in each other's deck. So like, this is my friend's autograph. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. It makes me feel like this reading might be about friendship, because this Nine of Wands is cute too. She's like a little moon goddess frolicking in the sunflowers. But this Nine of Wands tells me that you need to just actively pursue your creative passions right now. That is where your energy needs to go full force. And their energy would actually disrupt you right now. Like, you don't know that because maybe that's not like the past history, but their energy would actually be a disruption to you right now. And it's better that it's this way. And then we have the Lovers. Y'all are literally meant to be in each other's lives. You're going to come back together, I promise. Like, it just right now, it's just a different time. I do have some other cards I want to pull for you too. So I'm going to pull one of these cards. I love these decks. What is this one called? I have a few of them by the same person. Soul Whispers. Is that what this one's called? Yeah, Soul Whispers. And it is by Dreamy Moons. Y'all know I love Dreamy Moons. Some of the best decks that I own come from Tarot Stack by this independent artist. Okay, let's get you some whispers from your soul that you need to hear. Okay, we have, you can always be kinder to yourself. So I feel like you have really been taking this separation hard, and you need to be nicer to yourself. And then I'm going to pull one more. We have, the love within you is infinite. Share it freely with the world. So you need to share a little bit more of yourself with the world at large at this time. And then I have a few little questions that if you like to journal, I would take note of these and just use them as like journal prompts. I think that they would really go over super well. And if not, you can just ask yourself these questions and kind of ponder them if you don't want to write it out. But if you have the time, I would really encourage you to journal them out, because you can get some really profound answers from some of these. Okay. We have, who do I need to forgive? What would I tell them? And what was the latest mistake I made? What did I learn from it? Ooh, I like this second question, because a lot of times when we make a mistake, we will let that live rent free in our head and just keep judging it and judging it and judging it. And ultimately, mistakes are meant to help you learn from, right? And so when you can actually reflect, especially if you take time to journal on this, when you can actually stop and reflect and ask yourself what you learned from your latest mistake, it like helps you to kind of heal that. So thank you so much, pile number 1, for tuning in. Please don't forget to check out Tarot Stack. Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. If you would like to support me as a small creator, please, please, please consider joining my Patreon. I recently put out a vlog for y'all and an autumn reads if you want to get into like some new reading material for the fall. I just put out a 45-minute autumn reads video for y'all over there. I also do weekly astrology and tarot scopes for y'all, and so much more. There's so much more on the Patreon. I'm going to be releasing a new vlog here pretty soon. Another one that we just put one out this month, but there will be another one very soon that I've been working on. So if you want more like lifestyle content as well as some extra tarot content over there, be sure to check it out. Links for that, of course, down below. I also have my podcast available to you. It's called the Cozy Babes Club. We recently rebranded from Divine Authenticity. It's a good time. New episodes are rolling out. We are 150 episodes deep. I would love to have you tune in. I also have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, and my wish list down below for those of you that would like to use them. No pressure, of course, never an expectation, but always appreciated. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me or purchase a course from me, my newest 4-week course came out a few months ago. It's actually 50% off right now. So if you would like to snag it at a super discounted rate, it is currently $111 where it's normally $222. So if you want to grab it at that discounted rate, it comes with like over 20 video segments, 4 workbooks. It's a good time. It is good quality content, and many of my students have had such great results from it. So if you'd like to check that out, definitely do so. Links to my website, KloeTaylor.com, down below. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. And thank you once again to Tarot Stack. I love you so much. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye. So Tarot Stack is an online store that distributes indie tarot decks from basically independent artists. And these decks, when I tell you, and every deck that you see today in my reading is from there, they will all be linked down below, of course. But when I tell you that these decks are so good, like the cardstock is incredible. You'll notice in my cards that I use a lot of these on a daily basis, and none of them are falling apart because they are really high quality, well made. And I also feel like Tarot Stack is just honestly such an ethical company. Like, they really work to get tarot decks from independent creators versus something that is like mass marketed and sold. So it helps independent artists get their name out there a little bit more. And they have such a diverse collection of decks on their site. There's a lot of them are focused on inclusivity and having like gender neutrality in their tarot decks, which I personally really appreciate. They also have recently, I feel like, really upped their like feminine indie decks, ones that have more like feminine style to them. Like a lot of the, you've seen them even in other readings that I've done, but like ones that just have more of a feminine influence to them. And I really enjoy that as well. So there's a myriad of decks though. There's lots of diversity on their site. I own so many decks from Tarot Stack, and I have not once ever been disappointed, whether it's the art style from the artist or the way that it was packaged and shipped to me, how quickly it came, like genuinely zero complaints. And it always just makes me feel good knowing that I'm supporting an independent artist and helping to get their work out there. So links down below for Tarot Stack. And of course, I will also link every single deck that I use in the order they appear down below. So if you want to get some for yourself, be sure to use my links. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video. All right, pile number 2. I love the gold on the edge of these. These cards, I will not lie to you, they are very my aesthetic. Like, especially because y'all know that I make a color my personality every year. This year for 2023, we did red. And so this deck, it's all like pinks and red tones. And it is very my aesthetic this year, living for it. But let's go ahead and see what has been going on, y'all. What has been going on? Okay, we have the 5 of Roses, competition. Okay, so with this card right away, I can see that there has been either some competition or just like chaos for no good reason. The 5 of Roses is never a card that I love to see for anyone, because it's like, the best way to put it is it's like the dick measuring card. Like, why are you measuring dicks? Don't do that. It's just it's chaos for the sake of chaos. It doesn't really serve anyone. It's like being petty or upset over petty crap. Then we have the 10 of Roses, which says shoulder to cry on. So I do feel like whatever is going on, you and somebody else have been talking about it to your own respective people. You have people like shoulders to cry on. I also feel like with the 10 of Roses, you feel very overwhelmed by this situation when it's petty stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think that that means anything bad. You're allowed to feel how you feel. But it's not anything that in like 10 years is going to be impacting you. And we also have the 2 of Mirrors, 2 on 1. So you feel very ganged up on by this situation. You feel like nobody is on your side. And then we have the bitch, Queen of Mirrors. Oh, I feel like this shit is about to implode if I'm being honest with you. So you feel very attacked and cornered by someone or a couple of people. You are about to come out of that corner swinging, because this to me, I'm surprised too, because Mercury retrograde is over. Like, this energy feels catty and petty, and you're not going to be proud of yourself at the end. I'm just going to give it to you straight, okay? Like, this is not the reading I like to give, truly. I feel like this energy is very like, it's like eye roll. It's upsetting because it's petty. Like, if you don't feel like you're in the middle of some petty crap right now, I want you to go and like choose a different pile, because this is not your pile. This is somebody that's involved in some petty stuff with other people. And the thing is, it's not that you need to turn the other cheek. It's not that you need to take abuse. It's not that you need to not stand up for yourself. But when I see a Queen of Mirrors, especially in this deck, because this deck calls this card the bitch, like, this is like, you're not taking your own personal accountability. You're just swinging because you feel cornered. And I told you, this is petty stuff. It's not anything that in 10 years is going to matter to you. So what's going on here? We have the Lovers. Okay. That makes more sense. Meeting the parents, 9 of Roses, the Lovers, and the hot seat. That's what's going on. This has to do with a relationship that it's like you're fighting over a person. You and somebody else are fighting over a person. And so this is like matters of the heart. So I could see why this would be a lot more upsetting. Somebody's playing with your heart. It's like, it seems like in 10 years this will matter because you see a future with this person. And you know what? Spirit of the highest love and compassion, I need to know as a side question to get some answers for this person here right now. Is this their person? Is this person like worth the fighting? Is this person worth the fighting? The rose ceremony. Miss you as a second place, the beauty queen, Queen of Roses. The edit, 7. No. You know why? Because, so first of all, we have second place. You are coming in second to somebody else, and they're playing with both of y'all. And the edit here, this to me, like literally, this is a tie being severed. This is not your soulmate. This is not your twin flame. This is not somebody that in the long-term scheme of things is going to be an important person to you. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news here. Genuinely, this is somebody that is not important to your main character life. And they're playing with you and another person. And I know that you see a future with them. I know that you want to build a life with this person. But based on what has gone on, you will never be able to trust this person fully. And because of that, it's going to continue to be this back and forth. 7 of Roses, drama. It's going to be drama. It's going to continue to be drama, and it's going to keep being stressful. 9 of Flutes, the fantasy suite. It's like you're living in Delulu. And don't get me wrong, I love Delulu, okay? I believe in living your best Delulu life. In fact, I'm working on Delulu merchandise for us right now because I love that Delulu life so much. But when I see fantasy suites, this to me tells me that you're living in the fantasy of the drama. And it's not good for you long term. Like, though it can be like fun and games and shenanigans, and it might be like exciting or exhilarating, you're going to eventually come to a place where you want calm love. And this person is never going to be able to give you that. We have 2 of Roses, the date card. the producer plant, and the Bachelor. There's somebody else. There's somebody else that's better suited for you that you're not even noticing. They're already in your life. You need to, when they ask you and approach you for a date, not this person, not the person that's giving you the drama, say yes to this. Like, there's going to be a date coming up for you. I'm going to actually roll the astrology dice for you and see when this is going to be happening. How many weeks away? Actually, first and foremost, weeks or months. We will do even numbers as weeks. So this is going to be months. So we got an odd number. We got 5. So how many months? 3. In 3 months' time, this person is going to ask you on a date. I know that seems like a ways away right now, but you're going to need time to deflate from this situation. Somebody is coming into your life. They may already be there. And when they ask you on a date, you need to say yes. You don't have to. It's your choice. But I feel like this person actually does have potential. And I'm not sure if the roses in this deck are cups. They might. I think they are for some reason. I don't think they're wands. Mirrors or swords. I'm like, let me look at the deck really quick. Because Queen of Rings, that's pentacles. Rings. Oh no, the flutes are probably cups. Okay. I was going to say the 2 of Cups is like one of the most romantic cards that you could receive. But 2 of Roses, this is going to be like the 2 of Wands, which is about somebody that will actually expand you in a good way. So what can you do in the meantime is my question. Oh my gosh, 7 of Mirrors for the wrong reasons. Ooh, Chile. In your head, 8 of Mirrors. Page of Roses, the Free Spirits. And 6 of Roses, Challenge Winner. Okay. This to me tells me that you're really in your head about this. Literally, you got the card in your head. You're way too full of self-defeating and self-limiting thoughts right now, which is understandable. This person's been playing games with you. And like, I'm talking to you aggressively, not because I am mad at you. I am mad on your behalf. Okay? I feel like I should have said that like 5 minutes ago. I am mad on your behalf. You deserve better than the situation that you're being given right now. And I'm really sorry that this has been the hand you've been dealt, because this person literally plays mind games with you. And they are not in it with you for the right reasons. They are in it with you for the wrong reasons. And like, maybe you make them look good in a certain kind of way, because I want you to notice how like this is like a social media bubble, right? You make them look good, and that's the only reason they pay attention to you. And you have so much more than that inside of you. You deserve somebody that will honor you. And Page of Roses, this one says the Free Spirit. There's somebody that never wants to be tied down. Like, the seriousness that you want from this person, they will literally never be able to give it to you. At this point in their life, they are not a commitment person, and they may never be a commitment person. And then Challenge Winner, 6 of Roses. Do you not understand that you're the prize? You are the prize, and they are not treating you like you are the prize. You are the prize. Your presence is such a gift in their life, and they don't see it. Tell me more about this other person that you're going to receive a date from in 3 months. Tell me about this other person. King of Mirrors, the intellectual, very smart, can hold a conversation. 2 of Flutes. This is your soulmate. I just got the chills. In 3 months, you are actually going to be dating your actual soulmate. The 2 of Cups, or 2 of Flutes in this case, but the 2 of Cups is the most romantic card. It is, to me, the card that is, like, I prefer this card over the Lovers. Like, to me, it's a better representation of true love. 5 of Rings, insecure. and keep it chill with Temperance, which this is the Temperance card. So here's the thing. If you don't work on yourself right now, while you're having these self-limiting thoughts because this person's got you confused, take a step back and work on yourself. Because what is going to happen if you don't is when you actually meet this intellectual king, okay? They could also be a queen. You know, it's not a sexuality or a gender. But the King of Mirrors is somebody that is smart, is intellectual, maybe somebody that really likes to read, okay? Loves to talk and converse. When you meet this person and they are such a good fit for you, you are going to immediately be insecure and afraid that they're going to do something to cause you not to trust them. And that is because of the craziness that you've been through. It's like this person you've been with has made you less of a trusting person, and you deserve so much better and more than that. So take this opportunity right now to put up some boundaries around this person if it feels right, okay? And work on yourself and your mentality. Work on learning how to feel secure with yourself so that way you can extend that trust to other people when the right person comes along. And keep it chill. I feel like this person is going to make you kind of lose your cool, not in a bad way, but in like you just like want to call them all the time or text them and you're like, oh no, I need to keep it cool. I need to be cool. It's okay. It's cool. You know, let's go ahead and get you some affirmation cards. Okay, we have, you are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. So literally, you are whole and complete on your own. And it is the best. Take it from somebody who knows. Like literally next week, I am celebrating my 10-year wedding anniversary, and I've been with my partner for over 15 years. And take it from somebody who knows. When you get into a relationship with somebody, when you are both whole and complete on your own and you choose to walk life with each other, it is such a better connection than what like you feeling like half of yourself or that you're getting half-ass behavior. You are whole and complete on your own. You don't need somebody to complete you. And then we have open your heart to the magic around you. So once again, you're being asked to pay more attention to yourself, your surroundings, and not this mess. Okay, I also have some prompts for you. These are questions you may want to ask yourself or journal on them if you feel called to. These are just going to kind of be mind expanders or helping you to kind of uncover more with this. Oh. Okay, you got 3 because I pulled that weird, but how can I love myself more? What makes my heart overflow with joy? And how is my mind? So I would tell you to either question these to yourself or journal on them. Journaling is best if you have time. Thank you so much, pile number 1, for tuning in. Please don't forget to check out Tarot Stack. Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. If you would like to support me as a small creator, please, please, please consider joining my Patreon. I recently put out a vlog for y'all and an autumn reads if you want to get into like some new reading material for the fall. I just put out a 45-minute autumn reads video for y'all over there. I also do weekly astrology and tarot scopes for y'all. And so much more. There's so much more on the Patreon. I'm going to be releasing a new vlog here pretty soon. Another one that we just put one out this month, but there will be another one very soon that I've been working on. So if you want more like lifestyle content as well as some extra tarot content over there, be sure to check it out. Links for that, of course, down below. I also have my podcast available to you. It's called the Cozy Babes Club. We recently rebranded from Divine Authenticity. It's a good time. New episodes are rolling out. We are 150 episodes deep. I would love to have you tune in. I also have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, and my wish list down below for those of you that would like to use them. No pressure, of course, never an expectation, but always appreciated. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me or purchase a course from me, my newest 4-week course came out a few months ago. It's actually 50% off right now. So if you would like to snag it at a super discounted rate, it is currently $111 where it's normally $222. So if you want to grab it at that discounted rate, it comes with like over 20 video segments, 4 workbooks. It's a good time. It is good quality content, and many of my students have had such great results from it. So if you'd like to check that out, definitely do so. Links to my website, KloeTaylor.com, down below. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. And thank you once again to Tarot Stack. I love you so much. And I will talk to you in the next one. So Tarot Stack is an online store that distributes indie tarot decks from basically independent artists. And these decks, when I tell you, and every deck that you see today in my reading is from there. They will all be linked down below, of course. But when I tell you that these decks are so good, like the cardstock is incredible. You'll notice in my cards that I use a lot of these on a daily basis, and none of them are falling apart because they are really high quality, well made. And I also feel like Tarot Stack is just honestly such an ethical company. Like, they really work to get tarot decks from independent creators versus something that is like mass marketed and sold. So it helps independent artists get their name out there a little bit more. And they have such a diverse collection of decks on their site. There's a lot of them are focused on inclusivity and having like gender neutrality in their tarot decks, which I personally really appreciate. They also have recently, I feel like, really upped their like feminine indie decks, ones that have more like feminine style to them. Like a lot of the, you've seen them even in other readings that I've done, but like ones that just have more of a feminine influence to them. And I really enjoy that as well. So there's a myriad of decks though. There's lots of diversity on their site. I own so many decks from Tarot Stack, and I have not once ever been disappointed, whether it's the art style from the artist or the way that it was packaged and shipped to me, how quickly it came, like genuinely zero complaints. And it always just makes me feel good knowing that I'm supporting an independent artist and helping to get their work out there. So links down below for Tarot Stack. And of course, I will also link every single deck that I use in the order they appear down below. So if you want to get some for yourself, be sure to use my links. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video. All right, pile number 3. If you chose the Exotic Cancer Tarot, this is going to be for you. So, I think every deck that we use today, they all have like a hollow side piece. Like this one, the other two, and the pile number 4 is, there's like it's not hollow, but it's like a shiny pink. But I love what we're doing with tarot cards in this modern age. Oh, okay. We got something from Spirit here. We've got, a double 4. So we have 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. Okay. So 4 of Pentacles, I do feel that you've been really stressed out about money. I say that because it's like you're pinching every dollar. You're pinching every dollar. You're counting every last cent. And either that, or there's a potential that like you have money that like maybe you've had it saved for a long time, or there's something about like you actually need to let this money give you rest. Because the 4 of Swords tells me, well, hold on, I'm going to pull a few more cards because I'm not 100%. More money. Okay. Here's the thing. You are deeply craving rest. And you feel like you can't get it because you constantly have to work for more. And this is I know that this is a lot of how, our capitalist society works, that we have to work in order to maintain. But I do feel that it's just like not enough. What you're doing, it doesn't feel like it's enough. Ends are barely getting met. And even when you make like a lump sum, because I do feel like there is good money with the Page of Pentacles. It's not like you make nothing. Like there is something of substantial that is coming up. But Spirit is ultimately letting me know right now that there is this unsatisfied Like you feel unsatisfied. You feel unsatisfied. King of Wands, though. Okay, we're not ready to move on yet. I'll lay that card down in a second. Spirit is saying there's still more here. So really what I'm feeling from this is like you're kind of in a place where you've been doing really unsatisfying work and it's gotten you nowhere. Like I feel like you're kind of going through an evolution right now where that you're recognizing that you don't want to be limited. Like, and this is so, I feel like in 2020, like a lot of entrepreneurs were made like that. That's wonderful. I love that. You know, I love seeing entrepreneurs, but the thing that I think I don't hear enough people saying is that entrepreneurship is hard. Like you kind of have to be ready to always be working when you go into entrepreneurship, at least at first. It doesn't have to be that way forever, but at least at first, you kind of eat, sleep, breathe, drink what you are doing. And the thing is, if right now you're deeply craving rest, either one of two things needs to happen. Either you need to find a way at this point in time to get that, maybe even take some kind of leave of absence. I know, I don't know how it is for every place of work and every establishment, but I know some establishments, like you genuinely can get a leave of absence note for like up to 2 months for mental health leave and it will still be paid. But again, I don't know where that is everywhere. And I know that there are many people connecting with this reading. So just throwing it out there that could be an option for some of you. But either you need to find this leave that you are so desperately craving, or you need to find a way to basically open up a new pathway for yourself where you are not going to be limited. When I said Spirit was saying you're tired of being limited, it's like you can always climb a corporate ladder, but somebody, unless you are the CEO, somebody is always going to be limiting how much money you can actually accrue. And that is point blank period the truth. Somebody's always going to be limiting it. And that was actually such a hollow thought for me in my teenage years when I was working 9 to 5. And even in my early 20s, I worked 9 to 5s. And that was actually the thought that made me want to go into business for myself. Like as a Taurus, Tauruses unite. We know that we don't like anybody telling us what we can and cannot make. And so like, if that's a thought that feels really hard or hollow for you, it might be time to consider doing something else and going into business for yourself. But the thing I wanted to say is like, please, if you haven't been thinking about it, go choose a different deck, because I don't feel like every single person on the face of the planet is meant to be an entrepreneur. I think that it's like, you know, it's all light and airy fairy and a cute thing to say, but entrepreneurship is hard. Like it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for somebody that doesn't want to be dedicated to something that they feel passionate about. And I think it is perfectly acceptable, normal, and okay. And I think I would like to hear more people say this. So I'm going to say it for louder for those in the back, that it is perfectly fine to want the 9 to 5 life. It is perfectly fine to want that. Not everybody should be an entrepreneur, to be honest. And it's not because I'm trying to gatekeep anything. If in fact, I'm always in pursuit of you doing what feels good for you, but it's okay. Like we glamorize entrepreneurship and digital artists and even YouTubers, we glamorize that. And behind the scenes, there is so much that goes into that and so much added stress that is like unnecessary. And like, it's okay to want to go to work from 9 to 5, come home and not think about it anymore. And I also feel like something I'm hearing from Spirit is if that's you, it's also okay to look for work elsewhere if you feel like where you are is just frankly not enough. Now, we do have the King of Wands, as I said earlier. We have the King of Wands, we have the Page of Wands, and Death. If you're somebody that already has like a creative project, a creative business, something that you do, whether it's for money or not, Spirit is saying that this needs to go through a transition. Like death, a death of Page of Wands and King of Wands. Death is just a transformation. It has nothing to do with actual physical death. It's just a transformation. But transforming a king or a page of wands into something else is like, I feel like you've had some really good ideas for things, but the idea could be so much bigger. We also have the Hermit and the Lovers. Oh my gosh, I just heard that song in my head. If y'all have heard it, I just want to get high with my lover. I don't even know who sings it, and I'm so sorry. My husband loves that song, so I hear it all the time. But it just made me think of it because the Hermit is like spending time alone, being by yourself, tending to yourself, taking care of yourself, and like doing things on your own. But the Lovers is like an intimate connection. But you know what? These two people look the same. They're identical. And with that, I feel like this is spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself more. Like I said, if there is a way that you can take time away from working and really spend time honoring yourself, that is something you are really being called to do. Because we also have the Four of Cups. So we have another four. Something you need to know about fours, pile number 3, is that they are the foundation. Okay, fours are the solid foundation at which you build your life on top of. They're also a little bit boring because it's like the mundane, menial tasks. I'm just talking about numerology now. It's like the mundane, menial, boring tasks of life, but they're the things that set you up to build a better future. And so I feel like really the message you're being given here is there is change that needs to take place, but you also just need to like have better routines that set you up for better success. If you know watching Netflix until 2 o'clock in the morning is bad for you, you need to design a life where that's not part of your life, or do it in a way that is better for you. Like maybe only 1 or 2 nights a week versus every single night. Or if you know, I don't even know, sleeping in and like waking up 10 minutes before you got to leave is bad for you, you got to start increasing that window 5 minutes at a time over like the span of several weeks to give yourself more time for yourself. Because there's something about how you're doing your day-to-day life that is just not satisfactory to you. I can see that with the Four of Cups as well. We have the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. So I do see in and there's good news here. I feel like I've been telling you a lot of nonsense, not nonsense, but like, not like the greatest news. There is some good news here, if you're still with me. But I do see that your abundance is going to be increasing because we have the Six of Pentacles. Like the work that you put out is going to be paid back to you. We also have, with the Knight of Swords here, I feel like you're being called to use your voice a little bit more, pile number 3. If you're somebody that like doesn't really use your voice for work, or you have a lot of things you want to say, like it doesn't have to be your physical voice. It can also be like the written word, like writing things. But I do feel like you're being called to use your voice and your opinions a little bit more. And that is how you're actually going to generate more revenue. So I mean, gosh, I could sit here and tell you careers that use your voice all day. You know, we can talk about writing articles, writing a blog, writing a book, writing scripts. You could do ASMR videos. You could do like whispering, you know, you could do tarot card reading videos. You could do Twitch streaming. You could do audio recording, just like, you know what I think would be such a crazy career? And I feel like if you pick this deck and you're vibing with it, like this deck is very risque. I've always thought an insane career, not for myself, but like I just would want to talk to somebody who does it. I think an insane career would be like reading mature fiction. Like actually having a career where you get to do the audiobooks for mature fiction, or creating like mature, you know what I mean by mature? We're keeping it YouTube friendly, but like creating mature audio tracks in general. Like audio corn, if you will. We're going to call it corn right now, but audio corn. Like, I think that that would be such a fascinating career. And I would love to talk to somebody who does that just because I'd want to like pick their brain on how that's done. Like, I mean, I'm sure you sit with a microphone and you make it happen, but I just feel like that could be something if that speaks to you, like look into that. I'm going to be the first person to tell you that we do not slut shame, kink shame, or sexual shame on this channel. Anything that you're into, like, good for you. And sex work is work. I don't care what anybody says or tells you. Okay. Then we also have for you Queen of Wands, Five of Cups, Five of Swords. Okay, so I feel like you're going to get some really good momentum in feeling a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for here? I feel like you're going to get just like more confident. Your confidence is increasing. And then with the Five of Cups, Five of Swords, it's almost like you gain a lot of confidence, but then you backpedal it. And the thing is, your voice is just going to come out even stronger. Your voice is going to come out stronger. Your destiny is going to open up. And with the Ace of Cups, this is a beautiful new beginning for you. So don't try to silence yourself is something that I'm really hearing, because when you do that, your voice is just going to get louder. Like, and I don't mean like you're going to start yelling, but your pressing need to use your voice is just going to get louder and louder and louder until you do something with that. Because it is your destiny to use your opinions, what you think. I also left singing out of that loop. You could become a singer too. Like, that's using your voice. Or like a public speaker. There are so many ways that you can use your voice in this world, especially like we are in the most blessed timeline right now for people that just want to use their voice to create works of art, because you don't have to go from village to village with a carriage like this man. You don't have to go from village to village with a carriage trying to spread your song by singing it live constantly. You could just go on social media, upload something, and then see what happens. But I'm telling you that your path is really intertwined with this, and this will actually create a brand new beginning in your life for you. So this is like genuinely, it's going to be good. So I also see that we have the Devil coming out and the Three of Swords. I do feel like with this change that you're making, you're being led through the path that you're on right now because you are becoming more internally strong. And the reason for that is because when you start to become more of yourself, when you start to actually do this thing and follow your destiny, there are going to be people that are going to try to stop you. There are going to be people that you care about that think you're doing something crazy, and they're going to try to stop you and talk you out of it. And the thing is, it's going to hurt, but ultimately you're the one that's going to decide that that's not for you. That opinion is not for you. They're not for you. And you literally come out making more money than you've ever made. 10 of Pentacles is not a little money. It's a lot of money. Okay. 10 of Pentacles is one of the best cards you can receive for financial wealth. So like, this is something that if you are wanting to dramatically shift your finances, which the beginning of your reading was very much about that this is the path forward. And it's not a path that is going to be easy. It's not a path that somebody has walked in front of you that you can take one step behind this person. You're the one that's going to have to walk through the weeds and the mess in the forest in order to make this real for you. But the 10 of Pentacles does tell me that you will be graciously rewarded, handsomely rewarded for what it is that you pour yourself into. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull a few affirmation cards for you from the Soul Whispers deck. Love her. All right. This one says, I have to read it first and then I'll show you. We're all just trying to get back to where we came from. So it looks like this. We're all just trying to get back to where we came from. And then we also have show up as your highest self. So this card I love because here's the thing, and I've learned this intimately in my own life a few times, and you've probably heard me say it before if you've been here before, but I'm going to say it again. You have to act as if you're already living your desired life, because what happens is if you think that money is going to fundamentally change who you are, when you get that money, you're going to find that the same inner turmoil that you have faced, it's still there. It's still there knocking. It's the same things that hurt you before still hurt. And it's not like, I'm not trying to say that money does not buy happiness, because I think to a degree it really does. Like when you can afford healthcare, when you can afford to put gas in your car, when you can afford food on the table and having your needs met, yes, money does buy happiness. And anybody who says that it doesn't, I feel like honestly is a fool. Yes, it does buy happiness to a degree. However, there does come a point where there will be an inner world that hasn't been, like, that's why you're being shown what to do first internally so that the external can change. Because if you did it in the reverse, it would be a much more tragic story. And when you show up as your highest self right now, like this is already fulfilled, you're going to find that it comes into your life not only easier, but when you have it, when you have that 10 of Pentacles and you're making that money and you're setting yourself up right, you're going to find that it's like, oh yeah, of course. Like, of course that's what's happening. It's going to feel so much more natural and normal for you. And if this is something that you want to hear more about, I would encourage you to look up the thermostat theory. I want to say Jill, I think, gosh, I don't even, it's like Jill's Gorin. She does like a lot of soft life girly content, but she put out a more recent video explaining this. And I'd heard it before because I've read the book that she references, but I feel like she lays it out in her video really well. But just look up the thermostat theory, and like basically you will squander this if you received this blessing tomorrow without going through the change, the transformation, chasing destiny, and all the things that we've talked about. It's like you will not allow yourself to experience that much joy and happiness. You will literally, like, again, look up thermostat theory. I'm not going to sit and explain it here because I'll be here for another 20 minutes. But look up thermostat theory. I think it's kind of tied to this reading, to be honest with you. If I remember, I'll try to link the video down below for you. But in any case, I have a few more cards for you still. So these are just some prompts that I would encourage you, like, stop and pause the video when I show these to you, and either like think them to yourself, and if you have time, I would highly encourage journaling on them. So you have, what does happiness mean to me? Oh, that's so interesting because I was just talking to you about that. Where do I doubt myself the most? Are my doubts true to reality or caused by overthinking? Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. If you would like to support me as a small creator, please, please, please consider joining my Patreon. I recently put out a vlog for y'all and an autumn reads if you want to get into like some new reading material for the fall. I just put out a 45-minute autumn reads video for y'all over there. I also do weekly astrology and tarot scopes for y'all, and so much more. There's so much more on the Patreon. I'm going to be releasing a new vlog here pretty soon. Another one that we just put one out this month, but there will be another one very soon that I've been working on. So if you want more like lifestyle content as well as some extra tarot content over there, be sure to check it out. Links for that, of course, down below. I also have my podcast available to you. It's called the Cozy Babes Club. We recently rebranded from Divine Authenticity. It's a good time. New episodes are rolling out. We are 150 episodes deep. I would love to have you tune in. I also have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, and my wish list down below for those of you that would like to use them. No pressure, of course, never an expectation, but always appreciated. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me or purchase a course from me, my newest 4-week course came out a few months ago. It's actually 50% off right now. So if you would like to snag it at a super discounted rate, it is currently $111 where it's normally $222. So if you want to grab it at that discounted rate, it comes with like over 20 video segments, 4 workbooks. It's a good time. It is good quality content, and many of my students have had such great results from it. So if you'd like to check that out, definitely do so. Links to my website, KhloeTaylor.com, down below. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. And thank you once again to Tarot Stack. I love you so much. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye. So Tarot Stack is an online store that distributes indie tarot decks from basically independent artists. And these decks, when I tell you, and every deck that you see today in my reading is from there. They will all be linked down below, of course. But when I tell you that these decks are so good, like the cardstock is incredible. You'll notice in my cards that I use a lot of these on a daily basis and none of them are falling apart because they are really high quality, well made. And I also feel like Tarot Stack is just honestly such an ethical company. Like they really work to get tarot decks from independent creators versus something that is like mass marketed and sold. So it helps independent artists get their name out there a little bit more. And they have such a diverse collection of decks on their site. There's a lot of them are focused on inclusivity and having like gender neutrality in their tarot decks, which I personally really appreciate. They also have recently, I feel like, really upped their like feminine indie decks, ones that have more like feminine style to them. Like a lot of the, you've seen them even in other readings that I've done, but like ones that just have more of a feminine influence to them. And I really enjoy that as well. So there's a myriad of decks though. There's lots of diversity on their site. I own so many decks from Tarot Stack and I have not once ever been disappointed, whether it's the art style from the artist or the way that it was packaged and shipped to me, how quickly it came, like genuinely zero complaints. And it always just makes me feel good knowing that I'm supporting an independent artist and helping to get their work out there. So links down below for Tarot Stack. And of course, I will also link every single deck that I use in the order they appear down below. So if you want to get some for yourself, be sure to use my links. And thank you so much to Tarot Stack for sponsoring today's video. All right, pile number 3. If you chose the Zeke's Arcana Tarot, look at this, by the way, this like pink edging. Oh, so good. I love this deck. It gives big Lisa Frank energy. Just like the color scheme. I feel like it's very Lisa Frank. All right, let's see what is going on for you. Ace of Wands. Eight of Swords, Page of Coins, the Lovers, Bestie. It is not on today, not on this here. I always say the Lord's Day, even though like y'all know I don't have a religion or anything, but not on today, the Lord's Day. No. Bestie, it is not you coming to my channel and not believing in yourself. We are not doing that. Page of Wands or Ace of Wands tells me that you are burning bright. You are burning hot. You have some great ideas. There are some things you want to pursue. You are given this beautiful, boundless energy to do it. And then you're sitting here rolling around in your head all the reasons you can't do it, shouldn't do it, what people will say, what people will think. No. We will not do this. Okay, we're going to get to the bottom of that. But Page of Coins, the Lovers. Page of Coins tells me that you have some ideas about like a kind of like a new path you could take, something. I mean, pages to me always resemble like new ideas, new things that we're meant to act on. And the Lovers, I want to know what this Lovers is about. 6 of Swords. 3 of Wands. So 6 of Swords, it's like you're going through a transformation with someone else. Y'all, I think we might have gotten the Lovers card in every single reading today. Like the Lovers is coming out strong, which we are about to head into eclipse season in Libra. So Libra and Aries. So it makes sense to me that the Lovers would be coming out for everybody's reading right now. But the Lovers tells me that I do feel like you're afraid of change in a relationship right now, and maybe even afraid of like moving away from someone, because If this is you and another person, maybe that's why you're so in your head about why you can't do things. Like you think it's going to change someone's opinion of you, or it could also change the dynamic of your relationship with someone. So who is this person? We're going to use our astrology dice really quick, and I'm going to see, who is this person? They're an Aries, sun, moon, or rising, and Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. They probably have both placements, but the thing is, I'm going to put this back. The thing is with this person, and that's just meant to give you confirmation that this is your reading. With this person, you fear that there will be some kind of disconnect or drawback if you decide to change yourself, do something different. And the thing is, this is an experience that you and this person are meant to have, because the Six of Swords tells me it's a rite of passage. It's a difficult time period where you don't know what the other side of the journey looks like, but it's something that you are destined to go through with this person and experience with them. We have the Emperor. Love to see it. The Six of Wands. Are you kidding? And the Page of Wands. What? Okay. The Emperor, bestie. I just have to say it for anybody that if you drew this reading and you like are questioning a promotion, if you're questioning if you can be your own boss, if you're questioning entrepreneurship, whatever it is that has to deal with you being the commander and the boss of your own life, you've got it. This idea is going to take you there. You just needed to come here and get the confirmation of that. And you're going to be quite victorious with what you decide to do, because with the Six of Wands, this is eyes on you. This is like fame level of eyes on you. It's a lot of people noticing you. It's like increasing your social media following, increasing your YouTube channel, your Twitch channel, whatever it is that you have been pouring time, energy, and creativity into. If you have had a thought recently that you want to start something like this, or you want to take something you've already made to the next level, you need to put the energy into it, because you will come out victorious. I am telling you right now. When I see an Emperor and a Six of Wands in the same reading, that is such a high fame indicator that your business and what you decide to do, I feel like this is the reader for possibly some kind of influencer. Like you want to be some kind of influencer. And please remember that an influencer isn't somebody that just like daily vlogs. It can be if that's what you want to do. But like people consider me to be an influencer. I don't consider myself an influencer, but am I still putting things out on the internet that like create influence? Of course. And it's not a dirty word. Okay. We gotta remove ourselves from the idea that it's a dirty word. It's not. But I do feel like this, I'm getting like a message from Spirit that this is some kind of influencing. So Spirit is ultimately saying that you have the charisma. You have the charisma. You have the right idea. You need to take action on this, because it's going to lead to the result that you want. We have the page. You got so many pages. The Page of Swords and then the Queen of Cups. So Page of Swords, I do feel like this is like you're not used to using your voice so much. You're not used to using, when it comes to like speaking, you might be a little bit of a perfectionist, I'm hearing, and you try to like really critique every little thing you say. This actually really holds you back. And the more you just start to like, your new mantra, I'm not even kidding, needs to be like better out. Better something produced, and released than nothing at all. Okay. So like, don't get me wrong. I think quality is such a beautiful thing, having a high quality thing that you've produced, no matter what you're making and putting out into the world. But in the beginning, when you are just trying to get your footing or you're trying to grow, consistency will take you so far. I know this from my own career. I know this from countless other people in the same realm as me, as well as when I did gaming like 7 years ago. Or not 7 years ago. I did gaming for 7 years, the gaming industry. And it's great to focus on quality when you finally can. But in the beginning, consistency. Put it like, decide what is like, if you can only stream once a week, you need to make sure that you are there every single week. Ideally, you would do that for a year, but that's my professional opinion. That's not coming from source. That's my professional opinion. Ideally, you would do it for 6 months to a year before giving up if it's like not panning out, but it will pan out is the thing. So no matter how long you do it for, like it will pan out. You will receive the traction that you're looking for. The problem is, seeing so many pages in your reading tells me that you're an ideas person. You're somebody that has a lot of great ideas, but you don't put enough action behind them. It's like you burn really hot and bright in the beginning, and then you don't see the results immediately, and so you give up. And this is like the damnedest thing, right? We're all guilty of this in some facet of our life. It's the same way that I hate this example, but it's the first one that came to mind. It's the same way that people want to go on a weight loss journey and then they don't see the results immediately because losing weight takes time and effort and consistency, that people will just give up because it's hard when you're not seeing the results instantaneously. And when it comes to this, it's like you're a great ideas person. You have so many things that you want to start. You're like, oh yeah, I want to start streaming. Oh yeah, I want to be consistent on YouTube. Oh yeah, I want to build this business of principles. Oh yeah, I want to release a course. Oh yeah, I want to do something in my community. You're a great ideas person. The problem is that you're not executing enough of these ideas and you're not remaining consistent with them. So consistency, it is your ticket forward. So better out than I know it's hard when you're a perfectionist. Because I am getting perfectionism vibes. I know how hard it is when you're a perfectionist, but you just need to remind yourself of that. It's better out. It's better produced and out than nothing at all. And consistency is your ticket forward. We also have for you the Queen and King of Cups. Listen, if you're worried about your relationship falling apart, I honestly think it's supposed to. Because remember how I talked to you about you're worried about this Lovers card here and changing and who you'll become, and maybe you won't be the right person in the relationship anymore. Either one of two things is going to happen. Okay. And I remember I told you they're in Aries or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Either one of two things is going to happen though. It's likely that I feel like it's only one thing that's going to happen. Let me pull one more card. Okay. Like I said, only one thing. It's not one of two things. It's one thing. You're going to find somebody else that's actually better suited for you. And I know that that's hard to hear because this might be somebody you've spent a lot of time with, years possibly. But there will be an initial breakup because they have held you back and you've known it. You've known it. This reading is meant to be for confirmation. If you don't feel like your partner holds you back right now and you don't already know a little bit, this isn't your reading. But they hold you back. And the thing is, you're a Queen of Cups, baby. You are somebody that is intuitive. You're often ruled by your emotions because they help you. You have the gift of sensitivity. And you're with somebody that doesn't honor that sensitive nature. They might be somewhat open to it, but they don't have it themselves. So it's hard for them to really see it. And King of Cups tells me that your Queen of Cups needs your King of Cups, okay? And this doesn't mean that it's going to be a man or a woman. Don't put gender on this. It could be however. The thing is, you're meant to be with somebody that is more sensitive. You're meant to be with somebody that is more emotionally available, is more emotionally caring. And I honestly think that the things you're afraid of with this relationship will happen, but it's because there is somebody better suited for you. Queen of Coins, Page of Cups. You literally got every single page in the deck. 8 of Wands. Queen of Coins, this tells me that, again, Emperor, Queen of Coins, 6 of Wands. Money, fame, and I don't want you to be afraid of the fame because some people, I get that even for myself. I always say that it's not about me being famous. It's I would rather my work be famous and me not be. That's like way more important to me personally. And that might be your thing too. So don't let the fame like scare you. It doesn't necessarily have to mean, unless that's what you're wanting, it doesn't have to mean that you personally will be famous. It can mean that the work that you do will like be really highly regarded. It's just having more eyes and attention fixated on you. And the Queen of Coins here, though, is like making steady income from that, like having something that's rock solid and reliable. Then we have a Page of Cups. Again, this comes back to ideas, newness. And I really feel like every area, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you create, and the way that you do your finances, there is a huge evolution of every quadrant of your life that is getting like evolving, because you're going to be stepping from the ideas phase into actually being. And the Eight of Wands here tells me that you'll also receive a lot of like opportunities that will benefit you. There's opportunities on their way to you right now. Actually, I think that's all we're going to pull from that deck. We're going to get into affirmations now. So I'm going to pull a couple of affirmation cards for you, pile number 4. Did I call you pile number 3 earlier? I'm sorry. Pile number 4. I think it's because I'm used to doing 3 piles, and I actually shot this video on 2 different days. But let's see. We have for you, we are all one. Love all creatures, for we all share the same life force. It's got this little cheetah. Cats might be really important to you. Like this, they could be spirit guides for you, or you feel like a kinship with cats. And then we have, you are whole. You don't need anyone to complete you. You will always be whole. There was another reading today that got this card too. So something else you need to remember is you are whole and complete on your own. Your partner who you're with is not meant to be your missing puzzle piece. You are a whole puzzle. You're not missing any pieces. And when you meet somebody that is whole and complete on their own and you choose to share a life together, what a beautiful life you will lead. Okay. Now I have a couple of, these are really to me like journal prompts. You can stop and pause the video once I lay them out and actually ask them to yourself. I would encourage, if you have some time today, to actually sit and journal on them, because they're going to give you some great answers. All right, we have, what is my body telling me right now? Ooh, this is a good question for like even for this reading. And how can I nurture my inner child more? Thank you so much, Tarot Stack, for sponsoring today's video. If you would like to support me as a small creator, please, please, please consider joining my Patreon. I recently put out a vlog for y'all and an autumn reads if you want to get into like some new reading material for the fall. I just put out a 45-minute autumn reads video for y'all over there. I also do weekly astrology and tarot scopes for y'all. And so much more. There's so much more on the Patreon. I'm going to be releasing a new vlog here pretty soon. Another one that we just put one out this month, but there will be another one very soon that I've been working on. So if you want more like lifestyle content as well as some extra tarot content over there, be sure to check it out. Links for that, of course, down below. I also have my podcast available to you. It's called the Cozy Babes Club. We recently rebranded from Divine Authenticity. It's a good time. New episodes are rolling out. We are 150 episodes deep. I would love to have you tune in. I also have my Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, and my wish list down below for those of you that would like to use them. No pressure, of course, never an expectation, but always appreciated. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me or purchase a course from me, my newest 4-week course came out a few months ago. It's actually 50% off right now. So if you would like to snag it at a super discounted rate, it is currently $111 where it's normally $222. So if you want to grab it at that discounted rate, it comes with like over 20 video segments, 4 workbooks. It's a good time. It is good quality content, and many of my students have had such great results from it. So if you'd like to check that out, definitely do so. Links to my website, KhloeTaylor.com, down below. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. And thank you once again to Tarot Stack. I love you so much. And I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.